Hello and welcome back to the Simple-ESL podcast. This is the best place to learn everyday English the simple way. I am Will, the teacher that you find on all of our videos, and today we're going to talk about something I think could be quite useful in everyday conversation: going to the doctor. So this is our second episode, and we had a good response from the first one that made me think maybe we should make this a more regular thing. In today's lesson, we're going to practice health vocabulary. We're going to hear examples of real life conversations, and also we're going to help you feel more confident explaining symptoms and asking for help in English when you go to the doctors. This can be very useful if you find yourself traveling in the UK or English speaking countries and you find you need to get a prescription, get medication. Now, if you don't understand these words, that is fine, because we are going to go through them and we'll give you the vocabulary in this podcast. So I'd like to start with us doing some warm-up questions to get things flowing, get your thoughts going, and help you to practice a little bit. So I'd like you to speak your answers out loud, or you can write them in a notebook, or perhaps put them into the comments. When was the last time you were sick? Have you ever visited a doctor in another country? And how do you feel about speaking English at the doctor's? So the last time I was sick, I had some bad food, some undercooked chicken, and I had food poisoning, and that made me sick. Have I ever visited a doctor in another country? No, I haven't. I'm lucky in that sense. I thought I might need to one time when I went to Spain and I felt rather unwell, but ended up not going to the doctor. And part of that would be I didn't feel confident speaking Spanish to that doctor. So how do you feel about speaking English at the doctor's? Do you feel like you would have the grammar, the vocabulary needed to be able to tell the doctor what the problem is? Well, let's have a look at some vocabulary that might help you if you ever get into this situation. So I'd like you to repeat after me. Headache. Headache. So this is a pain in the head. Ow, pain in the head. The example of how we could use this: I've got a headache. Headache. How about this? Sore throat. Sore throat. This is a pain in the throat. So a pain in the throat. We could say, my throat hurts. My throat hurts. Repeat this one. Temperature. Temperature. This is a fever. You're feeling very warm. And we'd say, do you have a temperature? How about this one? Can you say cough? Cough. This means to push air from your lungs. Usually happens when you're feeling sick. I've been coughing all day. What about prescription? Paper, writing down prescription. It's a note for medicine. So the doctor gave me a prescription. This is very useful if you need to go to a pharmacy where you can get drugs or medication whilst you're abroad or in an English-speaking country. Well, I would take a moment. If you want to improve your English with a real tutor and use this vocabulary and practice speaking, I would really recommend taking a look at Preply. You can practice your conversation like this with one-on-one tuition. You have experienced and qualified tutors from all around the world, not just teaching English. However, of course, we're interested in the English lessons. And if you use the QR code on the screen, you can get 30% off your trial lesson. This link is also available in the description and can be found on all my links. So if you go to all my links / Simple-ESL21, you'll be able to find all my links and all of my deals I have around tuition. So find a tutor that fits your level, schedule and goals, and discover a practice method for speaking a language confidently. Find your ideal tutor. Now I'd like us to listen to a short conversation. Now don't worry if you do not understand everything. Just get the main idea. And we're going to hear from our characters from my other channel, my kids channel, ESL Monsters.
Listen and answer these questions. What symptoms does the patient mention? Does he have a temperature? What does the doctor think it is? And what does the doctor give him?
What seems to be the problem?
I've got a sore throat and a bad cough.
Do you have a temperature?
Yes, a little.
Sounds like a cold. I'll write you a prescription.
Thank you.
Did you get the answers? The patient had a sore throat and a cough. They had a temperature. The doctor thinks it's a cold, and he gave them a prescription. Well done!
Let's go over this one more time just to see if we've got the answers correct. So what does the patient mention is the main symptom? Does he have a temperature? What does the doctor think it is? And what does the doctor give him? So we can see here, if I get my pen out, so what seems to be the problem? I have a sore throat and a bad cough. Do you have a temperature? Yes, a little. What does the doctor think it is? It sounds like a cold. What does the doctor give him? A prescription. Let's go into a little bit of role play, and I'd like us to practice this. I'll be the doctor, you be the patient. Respond correctly. What seems to be the problem? Do you have a temperature? I'll write you a prescription. Great. So you should have said, I got a sore throat. Maybe you have a bad cough. Do you have a temperature? Yes, a little. Sounds like a cold. I'll write a prescription. Thank you. So let's flip around. I'd like you to be the doctor this time. Ask me the questions and I'll respond. I've got a sore throat and a bad cough. Yes, a little. Thank you. So hopefully you asked what seems to be the problem. Do you have a temperature? Sounds like a cold. I'll write you a prescription. This is good practice of the sort of conversation you can expect to have at a doctor's in an English-speaking country. A little bit more role play practice here. I want you to create your own version of this conversation. Use these questions to help. What symptoms do you have? How long have you felt this way? And did the doctor give you medicine? So pause here, write or speak your own version, play it back, listen to the version I did as well, and create your own conversation. And hopefully now you are back after pausing and taking some time to practice your own conversation. Let's move on with Let's take a look at some useful phrases. We're going to break down some natural phrases from that dialogue that you can use and add to your future conversations. What seems to be the problem? This is the formal version of what's wrong. So instead of saying what's wrong, we could say what seems to be the problem. I've got a sore throat. We can replace sore throat with any ailment we have. I've got a headache. I've got a sore throat. This is natural and informal. We don't need to be formal with our doctor. We just need to get the illness fixed. I'll write you a prescription. Now, this is a very common phrase from doctors. This means you're going to get a bit of paper that will let you get the drugs to fix your problem. So if you have a headache, they might give you painkillers. They might give you antibiotics. This will be in your prescription. You give this to someone to get your drugs. So a very useful phrase to know. Wonderful. It's time for us to do a bit of a trivia quiz to test your knowledge. What does feeling under the weather mean? Cold and rainy or feeling sick? And the clock is ticking. Feeling under the weather mean? It means feeling sick. Although cold and rainy are weather conditions, when we say we're feeling under the weather, this is an idiom, a colloquialism to describe feeling unwell, feeling sick. Let's try another. What part of your body do you visit an optician for? Eyes or ears? Not much time left. Eyes or ears? Put your votes in. And the answer, it's eyes. Opticians help you get glasses so you can see properly. So you go to an optician for your eyes. One more question. My nose is blocked means you can't smell well, you have a broken nose. My nose is blocked. Time is ticking. And the answer, you can't smell well. Usually you have something in your nose, you're sniffing a lot and sniffy. You wouldn't be able to smell well, your nose is blocked. Some pronunciation practice. I've got a sore throat and a temperature. Repeat this back slowly. I've got a sore throat and a temperature. Right, now let's say at a natural pace. I've got a sore throat and a temperature. Repeat it back. I've got a sore throat and a temperature. Fantastic. Now let's do this really fast. I've got a sore throat and a temperature. One more time. I've got a sore throat and a temperature. Wonderful. Okay. Let's move on to our next part of the podcast. I want us to correct these common mistakes. I'll read them aloud. You correct the mistakes. I have sore throat. I have sore throat. I have a sore throat. So we need to make sure we put a in there. I have a sore throat. My head is hurt. Is this correct? My head is hurt. My head hurts. Fantastic. Now, this common phrase, do we know the answer? Doctor gave prescription me. We know it's about a prescription. Doctor gave prescription me. How do we correct this? The doctor gave me a prescription. So the doctor gave me a prescription. Doctor gave, who did he give? Me. And we put that before prescription. It's a little bit of discussion question. I'd like us to think of the last time we saw a doctor. When was the last time you saw a doctor? How do you usually describe your symptoms in English? Would you say, I feel under the weather? I have a blocked nose? I have a headache? I have a temperature. What do you say when you're not feeling well? You could say you're feeling peaky. I feel unwell. I feel clammy. I feel sick. So we could say I, then the verb to feel, and then the symptom. I feel sick. And something to think about here. This is our summary and homework section. We've practiced health vocabulary. We listened to a doctor and patient conversation. We learned grammar and pronunciation tips. And we took a quiz and practiced speaking. For your homework challenge, before our next podcast, I would like you to write and record your own doctor visit conversation. We had a practice with this earlier. I would like you to record yourself doing this again. Use at least 3 new phrases and 1 symptom. So go back to the vocabulary, go back through the podcast and hear some of the other phrases and symptoms that I have said in the podcast. And if you'd like more practice with this before our next lesson, why not take a look at some of our materials available on Patreon. We have a Patreon page and it's designed to give out homework worksheets and extra lessons and extra help to our students. With the subscription, you'll have access to everything we have to offer, including all of our worksheets and any courses and future courses that we produce. It's a great way to help us, help me as I'm a one-man show, to produce more materials and more things like this that can help you to learn your English. But of course, you're more than welcome to not subscribe and enjoy the free version and listen to my voice as I'm talking to you and to practice this English challenges, including this homework challenge. So write and record your own doctor visit conversation and use at least 3 new phrases and 1 symptom. But hopefully we'll see you across there. You can scan the QR code or go to all my links /Simple-ESL21 where you'll find access to our Patreon page, our YouTube channels including ESL Monsters, and you will also find links to tutoring sites and sites if you want to become a tutor. These will offer you discounts and will offer you extra bonuses. So if you've enjoyed the podcast, we're going to be trying to make this a more regular thing, and it's a great way for us to practice English. So here's how you can support Simple-ESL. The easiest way, join the community, subscribe on YouTube. We try to put out weekly videos. We do grammar, vocabulary, listening practice, and now this podcast style learning. And more fun with ESL Monsters, which has just returned. You can join us on Patreon. Your patronage will allow you to get downloadable worksheets, transcripts, lesson packs, and you'll get access to any future courses we produce. You can support the channel and help us grow, and you'll find links in the description that will take you through to lots of discounts as mentioned before. But don't forget to leave a comment and a review and let us know what you would like to learn next, and we will feed this into our next podcast and our future materials. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in our next podcast offering. Have a wonderful day.